Let's go to Bill Kristol, shall we? And joining us now, I am happy to say, as always, is Bill Kristol, editor of the Weekly Standard and ABC News contributor. Hello, Bill.
Hi, Steve. How are you?
I'm good. Okay, where to start? Why don't we start with Elizabeth Warren, calling Donald Trump a money grubber and, really viciously attacking him. And here's a woman who flipped houses and reportedly lied about being a Native American. And nobody talks about that except Trump puts it out in a tweet.
Well, Trump talks about it, yeah. No, I mean, I guess we're getting a sense of what a Clinton-Trump campaign is going to look like for 4 months. And I don't know, is it really sensible on either side? I've got to think their negatives are about as high as they're going to get, I would think, in each case. And what they've got to do is convince some people who are doubtful about them, because they both have such high negatives, to vote for them. So if I were running either campaign, actually, and I'm not a big fan of either of them, as you know, I would be running a sort of positive campaign at this point. If I were Trump, I'd be trying to reassure people that I'm, thoughtful and stable, and I'm not going to just go off the handle and stuff. And if I were Hillary Clinton, I'd be trying to say, here's my vision for America, and it's a little better than you might have thought in the past, and I'm more forward-looking. I don't just think I should inherit the office. But having Elizabeth Warren as an attack dog, does that really do much good? I'm pretty doubtful.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more on that. It's interesting. You think there's any chance that Hillary picks her as the VP?
I've been discounting it, but I was out on the West Coast last week and did a few speeches and with Hillary Clinton, debating a Democrat a couple of times. So this was someone who was pretty close to the Clinton campaign. And she thought it was possible that from my point of view, it seems a little crazy to go left in your VP pick if you're trying to get centrist voters, presumably, who are, uncomfortable with Trump. But they are worried about the Sanders supporters, worried that they're not going to vote. They might go to some of them to Gary Johnson or Jill Stein, the Green Party candidate. A few might go to Trump. And maybe I just was looking around on Twitter. I didn't see the thing today, but I guess the reports are that, Elizabeth Warren really energized the crowd. They might talk themselves into an Elizabeth Warren pick. I personally am doubtful about that, but I don't think it's out of the question.
Yeah, well, you're a Twitter animal, Mr. Kristol.
I just happened to go there for a couple of minutes.
No, you tweeted. Let me put up something that you tweeted out before about Hillary. Doesn't HRC have a competent aide who can edit out the school marmish? We need leaders who understand that. Now that's a problem for her, or is it a problem for her? If she picks Warren, and Warren is more energetic and energizes the crowd and is not school marmish compared to Hillary, she'll make Hillary look bad. Is that a problem?
I think it could be. I think people have never really gone wrong taking vice presidents who are dull or who don't perform well. I worked for Dan Quayle. I like him very much, and I think he had got bad advice and was handled badly and didn't do very well, obviously, in the 88 campaign. He'd be the first to say that. But Bush won easily, nonetheless, and Quayle did well in 92, and it didn't really help Bush at the top of the ticket. So, I'm dubious how much the VP can add, but one thing a VP can do is sort of make the number one person look a little pale by comparison, and I think Elizabeth Warren could do that. The point of that tweet was I really was just skimming along, and there was a quotation from Hillary Clinton, which was something like,
"Right,
we need leaders who do X, Y, and Z." And instead of just saying let's do X, Y, and Z, right? Instead of saying Donald Trump should stop blustering and we need to we should be constructive, and my policies are this, and this. It's always that kind of weird. Not talking about the thing itself, but saying that we need people who would do X, which is a funny way. It's like teachers often do that, I think. And
right.
I don't know. She can't help herself with that.
And one other, you had, how about a first ballot on which Trump is eliminated, followed by a series of ballots to pick nominee, drama, ratings. Are you still holding out hope, if you will, that Trump will not get the nomination on the first ballot?
Totally. I'm a keep hope alive kind of guy, Steve. I'm not giving up to the last drop, the last balloon falls there in Cleveland, and I don't know. We'll see. I'm impressed by the people who are making the case for letting the delegates vote their conscience, and we'll see what happens.
All right. But you don't have a third party candidate in mind, or another, I should say.
Once you turned it down, it got hard to recruit. The prestigious people said, "Well, if Malzberg's not doing it, why should I?" But I'm still working on that too.
Yeah, still working. All right. Let me let you hear something that Mitch McConnell. This will be 34, guys. 34. Mitch McConnell was asked if he. Well, here it is.
I didn't hear you say whether you thought he was qualified.
Look, that'll be up to the American people to decide. You know, he won the Republican nomination fair and square. He got more votes than anybody else against a whole lot of well-qualified candidates. And so our primary voters have made their decision as to who they want to be the nominee. The American people will be able to make that decision in the fall.
All right. What is it? Now, look, you're you, okay? You're not the leader, the majority leader of the Senate or the Speaker of the House. What is it about these two when you have Hillary Clinton, who has taken millions of dollars from countries that kill gays and treat women like garbage, and all the scandals and under FBI investigation? What is it about these two that can't get behind their party's nominee?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with you in this sense. If you're not going to get behind him, just say, I don't think I can support him, or I don't think I can support him at this point, or I'm staying neutral. If you're going to support him, you know. I mean, if you think he's the better candidate, say, I'm sorry, I think Donald Trump's the better candidate. He's better qualified than Hillary Clinton. I sort of agree with you that these people who are, quote, endorsing or supporting, but they don't want to say too much about it, and they don't want to endorse or support too strongly, look kind of silly.
Well, what's the motivation, do you think? I mean, what's their reasoning
Well,
here?
they think they can kind of duck and appeal to some of the voters who are put off by Trump. But I think that I've just talked to a lot of. I was on this West Coast swing last week, giving some talks and meeting with people and stuff. And I'm struck how much I don't think people really hold it against you that much if you're not for him or if you are for him. But I think what people actually don't like is this kind of equivocating and too cute by half, and kind of classic Washington political games.
All right, one more. Let's go to George Will. Here's 45.
I changed my registration to unaffiliated 23 days ago. I hardly made an announcement. I just mentioned this in a meeting with the Federalist Society. So the long and the short of it is, as Ronald Reagan said when he changed his registration, I did not leave the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party left me.
All right, so he's left the Republican Party. Is this something you're considering?
No, because I like the Republican Party. I don't like Donald Trump, but I don't think he's a bad nominee. But I'm comfortable with a party of Marco Rubio and Ted Cruz and Joni Ernst and Tom Cotton and Ben Sass and a whole bunch of pretty good governors and younger office holders. I'm sticking with the Republican Party. Now, look, after November, who knows? Maybe everything will fall apart and maybe Trump will win, and then people like me will have to see how he governs. But no, I'm not leaving any party. Not that I'm such a big deal in the party, but I don't think Virginia has party registration, so I guess I'm not officially registered. But I have voted Republican in every presidential election in my lifetime. I've taken the Republican primary ballot, I think, almost every time in Virginia. So, and I like, I look forward to voting for the Republican candidate for governor of Virginia next year, and for my state legislative candidate and so forth. So I'm okay with most of the Republican Party.
One
most of the time.
Supreme Court. What do you think about overturning the conviction of the former governor of Virginia?
I think that was right. I mean, just it shows how much out of control the prosecutors are, and that's a good issue, I think, for libertarians and for conservatives alike, where you really do have now a kind of these prosecutors who keeps getting overturned. Ted Stevens in Alaska, but meanwhile they destroy people's careers.
Yeah. Hey, Bill, always great to talk to you, sir. Thank you, my friend.
Be well. Good talking to you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, as we do here on Newsmax TV and only on Newsmax TV, we'll be taking your phone calls in the next segment. Noel Nickpour, Republican strategist, congressional candidate down in Florida, will join us. 877-NEWSMAX, 877-639-7629. Start dialing now.